Hello there, I'm Carter, and this is my submission video for the CS61B Project 2 Gold Points. So we'll be taking a look at the game that I had to produce as part of the project, some of the unique mechanics. The game is called, wait for it, Happy Fun Adventures, or in French, Les Aventures Heureuses et Amusantes. Now let's just enter a seed here. The whole game is localized into French. You can change the language at any time in gameplay just by whacking the C key here. You can see like this is a wall, now it's un mur, and so on. And the unique mechanic of this level is you have to collect dots, sort of like in Pac-Man. This is like a roguelike version of Pac-Man. So like you step over a dot to collect it, and then after you collect the dot and you like move out of that tile, it's replaced with an empty space where a dot once resided. So this is actually one of the first win-loss conditions of this game. Is if you close the game because you're bored and you don't want to collect all the dots, then that's like a loss. Whereas collecting all the dots puts you on the road to victory, right? Your patience is rewarded with this game. So yeah, and don't worry if this game seems a little boring. I kind of wanted to ease players into it by only introducing a single mechanic per level. So like this level introduces the dots, and then future levels will have more interesting mechanics. So as soon as we collect this final dot here, you can see we have level 2. Now level 2 is another sort of dot collecting level. But you can see there's this blue thing over here. This is actually a ghost, and we can fight the ghost, just like in Pac-Man, by stepping on it. You can see here's our little fight screen. So the ghost is hovering menacingly at us. Let's check it. You examine the ghost. There's no effect. All right, and the ghost does a spooky trick. You take 1 damage. So that wasn't super helpful. So let's try fighting a ghost. So we strike at the ghost takes 1 damage. The ghost does a spooky trick. You take 1 damage. All right. Now, one thing I just want to point out here is even in this battle screen, we can still hit C to change the language. So you can see now it says Fantôme à l'air affreux, something like that. I'm not very good at French. This game is not translated very well. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because it has story relevance later. So anyway, we strike at the ghost. It takes 1 damage. The ghost has been defeated. We gain 16 bronze points. And bronze points are kind of like CS61B gold points, except they're completely worthless. And in fact, the game doesn't even keep track of how many you have. That's how worthless they are. Now, there are a lot of dots I need to collect in this level because, of course, the goal wasn't actually to fight the ghost. The ghost was just standing in the way of collecting dots. Now, I could make you sit here and watch me collect all of the dots, but I think I'll just cut to level 3. Alright, so we're on level 3 here. Now level 3 is pretty similar to the previous levels, right? You still have to collect the dots. There's still ghosts you can fight. This ghost up here is actually optional. You don't have to fight him. You can just collect the dot and walk back. You know, it's like a pacifist option. Now you have this dot here. It's slightly yellow, and you can see it's a dot atop a suspicious-looking pressure pad. All the other dots just say a dot. That's sort of the unique mechanic of this level is traps. So let's step on the trap. Let's see what it does. The dot explodes, vaporizing you instantly. You wake up 10 months later in Ghost Infirmary. You are now a ghost. You start Ghost Secondary School today. Professor Ghost says learning works by stepping on green education tiles, and any mistakes will permanently lower your GPA. So it's just like real school in that respect. There's no recovering from mistakes. Now, when we step on a green tile, you can see this is a ghost typing class. So we can say, alas, there is no tea to be had today. All right. So I managed to type that one perfectly. You can see our GPA up here is still 4.0. Next one. Okay, that one's actually the same. But you know, there's value in repetition. You know, rote learning is one of the kinds of learning. Oh, look at this. These lessons seem a little repetitive. And they do, in fact. Warning, your toaster is overheating. So I'll just, I am pretty good at this game. I have a lot of practice, but I'll show you what happens if we type wrong. You can see the letter turns red, and our GPA has dropped by 0.1 grid point. But anyway, I'll just type it correctly. Let's do a few in French, because this is starting to get boring. Romeo, pourquoi vous êtes Romeo? Again, I'm not very good at French, so a lot of these translations of these sentences are not great. This one says, Hélas, il n'y a pas de thé aujourd'hui. And I'm also worse at typing French than I am at typing English, so this might be bad for my GPA. Or as it's called in French, my moyenne. Quelques phrases, je pense. So you can see here, like as we once we step on a tile, it sort of gets grayed out, and it's like a green education tile we already stepped on. So we can only learn once in each place. Stanley a pris la porte à sa droite. Yeah. It does like to repeat sentences, but that's not a bug. That is a feature, and that's to help you remember the sentences and get better at typing them rather. C'est dans ma propre vie. That means I will use it in my real life. So anyway, the last tile here is actually special. When we step on it, it says, as you step onto the education tile, you realize something. You've already learned everything there is to know. It is time for you to graduate. When ready, step on the blue graduation podium. So you can see here the podium has spawned in inconveniently on the opposite side of the level from where we were, but that's okay. Learning is a journey. Now let's go collect our diploma. You step onto the graduation podium. Principal Ghost says, hang on a second. You haven't completed your Ghost Baccalaureate exam. Luckily, Principal Ghost carries a spare Scantron at all times. Okay, so this is the Ghost Baccalaureate. This is applying now the skills that we learned throughout this level, the unique typing mechanic. So we can say, I know how to spell baccalaureate. That wasn't supposed to happen. Maybe try saving and loading. Let's try that. So load the game back. I don't know. Okay, no, saving and loading did nothing. It's still bugged. Actually, hold on a sec. I might be able to fix this. Wait just a minute. Okay, I think this will fix it. Darn, no dice. Man, I knew it was a bad idea to localize this game into French. Okay, new plan. I'll delete the code, I'll start over, generate a new world, and write an excuse to end the game. Alright, here goes nothing. Alright, level 1. Forgot to recompile. For real this time, level 1. Okay, so this one's got the amulet of Yendor. You can collect. Not much else to do. No dots or anything. This is just a floor. As you collect the amulet, its power surrounds you. This is what you came here for. Now that you have it, you can go home. You ascend the steps to the surface. The sunlight hurts your eyes. It has been a long time. You return home proud of what you were able to accomplish. You win. So that's the win condition of the game. You collect the amulet of Yender, you win, and it just kicks you back to the main menu. So yeah, so that's Happy Fun Adventures. That's pretty much all there is to the game. So you can see we had the unique mechanics like the dot collecting and the ghost fighting and the typing practice and whatever the ending was. So that's pretty cool. Now, one thing you're wondering is, is there actually a way to lose this game? Right? Like, what are some of the failure states of this stuff? So I've put in a key here that I can use to sort of skip between levels and show you different things. So like if we skip over to level 2 here and run up and fight the ghost, it is indeed possible to die to the ghost. So if we do stuff that has no effect enough times, the ghost attack causes you to perish. But then actually it's fine because you wake up in the ghost infirmary anyway, just like what happens if you step on a trap. So that's actually more of a speedrun strategy than an actual failure state. But there's a failure state here, because of course your GPA irrevocably goes down whenever you make a mistake. So if it goes too low, then your GPA has fallen below a 2. You will never graduate from Ghost School. The only company you can work at is Ghost Donald's. Bad ending. And then it kicks you back to the main menu again. So there we go. So that's all the requirements taken care of. We had the unique mechanics, we had the win state, we had the failure state. I think that's just about it. Thank you for watching.